Privilege to serve, to be a part of the lives of Springdale students, and to help them realize the great potential and promise they represent. We thank you for our parents who are partners with us. We thank you for our community leaders who give abundantly of themselves, all with the hope of providing additional services to our students. We thank you for our classroom teachers, our principals, our support personnel, and our school board members as they help lead our school system. In this district, it really is all about our students, and we pray that you continue to bless this work and help each of us in the year ahead to continue to improve, to continue to get better at getting better, to continue to build our capacity to both lead and to serve, all with the intent of being able to better serve each of the students in our district. Amen.
We're going to say the pledge now. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I would like to officially call the meeting to order. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I know all of the teachers and principals and superintendents that are here tonight have already been through a whole lot of meetings today and over the last several days. School is right around the corner, so it's time to get ready. First thing we need to do is look at the agenda for tonight. Are there any changes?
The agenda would stand as presented, Mr. President.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. McFetridge and a second by Mr. Owenby to approve the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Everybody's had the minutes from last month's meeting to look at. Are there any changes, corrections that need to be made to those?
I would make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Luttrell, a second by Mrs. Cook to approve the minutes from last month's meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That brings us to the patron comments portion of our board meeting. Anybody here that would like to address the board, this is the time to do it. One caveat, we can't act on anything. We'll be happy to listen to you and refer it to the appropriate party. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to address the board? Okay. That brings us to Dr. Rollins. We're going to kick things off.
Board, we've had a lot of wonderful new people join us this year. I believe our number of new teachers, staff members is 135 new staff members and counting. So a lot of wonderful people have joined us. We're really excited about all that. I want to ask Dr. Cleveland to come and recognize some very special building leadership, if you will. Jared, thank you.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Rollins and Cynthia. It's always a pleasure to get to come in front of you and introduce our great staff that we have. Tonight, I'd like to introduce Ms. Carrie Ferris, the new Assistant Principal of Walker Elementary. Carrie, if you'll come forward, please. And as you know, we've introduced Ms. Lynn Ryan in the past. She's the new principal at Walker. Carrie hails from Conway. Actually, she's a Springdale girl. And she transplanted to Conway for a little while, and Dr. Murray had her, raised her a little bit, and we've stolen her back as she's come back this way. And so she's going to address you just a moment.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And like he said, I call this my hometown, and I've stepped away for a few years, but I'm so glad to be back here, bringing my family back to my hometown and bringing two of my own children up through the Springdale schools too. That's very near and dear to my heart. So I really look forward to that. I'm very excited to work with Mrs. Ryan and also learn from her. And so I really appreciate this opportunity, and thank you so much.
We have two new administrators over at Westwood. We have Miss Allison Byford and Miss Janet Harris. I know I saw Miss Byford. There she is. And there's Miss Harris as well. Miss Byford's a longtime administrator in our district and has done such a wonderful job at Lakeside. And she's expanding her opportunity over into Westwood. And of course, Miss Janet Harris has been an administrator in the past and has done a wonderful job as a TOSA in our district. And we're so pleased that she's entered the administrative ranks again. So, Ms. Byford?
Well, I just really want to thank Dr. Rollins and the administration team for extending this opportunity. I love Westwood. I started in Springdale at Westwood, so it's a school that's very near and dear to my heart, and I cannot express to you how amazing the last few weeks have been and how wonderful the teachers have been and how positive. And so I just hope that I can continue the good work and push that team forward because they're doing amazing things. So thank you.
Well, I am very excited to get to come back and be an administrator in Springdale. I think I probably know all of y'all fairly well, and I'm very excited to serve Springdale in this capacity again. It is my home school. I went to first through sixth grade there. If you come in my office, I have my class pictures, actually. And actually, Jeff, you're in about 4 of them. So I think we had a lot of classes together back then and all the way through. And it is, I hope y'all come and visit us. It is a wonderful staff. Allison and I have so much enjoyed getting to know the teachers, the innovative things that they're doing, and just can't wait to continue. Thank you for this opportunity.
As you know, when Miss Byford left Lakeside, it left a hole, a significant hole, but we found a wonderful young lady. Her name is Chelsea Jennings. So, Miss Jennings, if you'd step forward. Dr. Shepard, come on down with her, if you don't care. Miss Chelsea Jennings has been a TOSA in our district and an excellent, excellent leader. We're looking so forward to her growth and development under Dr. Shepard's fine leadership out at Lakeside. Miss Jennings?
Thank you, guys. I've had the pleasure of serving Springdale schools for the last 10 years as an English teacher and an ESL teacher, as well as a literacy TOSA, writing curriculum. And I'm just really excited for this opportunity to get to work as a building administrator at Lakeside Junior High. I do have a great leadership team that I'm working with who are very collaborative and supportive. I've got to know the faculty the last couple days, and they're also very warm and welcoming and positive, and so I'm just really looking forward to this school year. Thank you.
Dr. Dotson, why don't you step up here with Miss Lisa Davis. I'd like to introduce Miss Lisa Davis. Miss Davis has been in Rogers School District and Fayetteville School District, among some others, but she's found a home here in Springdale now, and we're so glad to have her. She's going to be working as an assistant principal at Sonora Middle for this next year for Dr. Dotson. Miss Davis?
I want to thank you for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to work in the best school district in the state. I'm honored to serve the students and staff and community members at Sonora Middle School. I'm excited to be here. This is my first year in Springdale, and I know this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
That's right.
We have a gentleman who's been serving, or who has served at Sonora Middle and then at the ALE this last year, and he's been elevated to administrative assistant. His name is Dr. Kobe Davis. Dr. Kobe Davis, invite you and Dr. Lyons down to the microphone. A great leader, a great young man, and he's got kids in our district, wonderful fellow, and he's going to be able to serve in our ALE as an administrative assistant this year. So, Dr. Davis?
Thank you all so much, Dr. Rollins and the board. I thank you. I'm very excited about this year. I'm very excited about playing a part in our vision, which is to make us the best alternative school in the state and hopefully the best in the country. I've been really excited to be promoted in this way because I think that alternative ed, we have lots of opportunities to really serve a very distinct population, and I'm thankful that you have entrusted me to work in this capacity, and I'm looking forward to this year and all that will come from it. So thanks again.
Thank you.
finally, this evening, we have Miss Andrea Ingram. We call her Andy. Come on down, Miss Ingram. Miss Harshaw, Miss Bales, come on down. Miss Ingram has joined the ranks of LEA Supervisor, directly under Miss Tara Harshaw, who's taken the place of Dr. Christy Smith, who's retired this year. So we really have some interesting folks here in our supervisory ranks. They come from great backgrounds. Interesting. Special. They're wonderful people, and we could not have a stronger, tighter team in our special ed department. We're very proud of them, and we'd really like to introduce Miss Ingram tonight and allow her to address you and let you know what she does in that new role.
Just want to start by thanking you guys for giving me the opportunity to be in this position. I've had the wonderful opportunity to serve at Monitor Elementary for the past 9 years as their speech pathologist at that school, and have learned a great deal about our students and everything, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to expand my role out and to be able to impact a lot more children in our district and to help parents and to continue to learn from a lot of other great educators and leaders in our district. So I just want to thank Dr. Rollins and the board for giving me this opportunity to continue to grow. Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Well, Dr. Rollins and board, that concludes our hiring this year of administrative staff. Yes?
One thing, there have been a lot of changes to the administrative teams throughout the district at the different building levels. And I, for one, by the time I get everybody figured out, they change them around on me. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe send us out a list of who's where so we can kind of maybe familiarize ourselves with what's going on.
Actually, have one in your packets now.
Oh, is there one here
Yes.
already?
That's really good and part of my personnel.
There you go.
Part of my personnel
All
work.
right.
So
Thank
if
you.
not, I'll actually send you an updated one this evening if I need to, if there are
No, if
any
it's in there,
gaps.
that's great.
All right, wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes my
Thank you,
opportunity
Doctor.
here. Thank you.
Dr. Morledge?
Did I miss it? Oh, in here, okay.
Mr. Hutchinson and board and Dr. Rollins, we have once again 2 winners of the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. Seems like every year I come before you and tell you another one of our great Springdale teachers who has earned this award. This year we have 2. 2 of the 4 state finalists are our teachers here in Springdale. No surprise there. We know our teachers are wonderful. We have one of ours is on her way. She is caught in traffic trying to get from Shaw to here, and she has to cross the Elm Springs bypass, so we all understand that. So Missy Henry will be here shortly, but we do have Amy Sandy from Sonora Elementary. Amy, would you come up? I've been in Miss Sandy's classroom several times. It's one of my favorite places to go when I go to Sonora. So I'm going to let her tell you about the award and where she is in the process and how she got there.
So, the way the award works is every other year they allow elementary level nominations, and then they rotate with secondary. So I was nominated by Dr. Stuman, and the process you go through is pretty extensive. People have compared it to a national board, and I've done that too, so I agree. You videotape yourself, pick a lesson, videotape yourself. You have 45 minutes, and then you analyze it, pick it apart piece by piece. You put in timestamps of when things you're talking about applies. So I had 5 dimensions to the paper I had to write. It ended up being about 12 pages. And then you submit everything online, and the state has until January to pick up to 5 finalists. And so they pick 4, and now we'll go to the National Science Foundation Committee, and they'll pick a winner for Arkansas. And I think they're behind, but that's okay.
And what was your lesson on?
Mine was a CGI-based lesson with multiple groups. It was 2nd grade, and it was mainly to get the kids to recognize place value, where they were putting their commas, how they were writing their repeated addition and multiplication number sentences to match their strategy and thinking. So.
Does the state winner then move on to another level?
Right. So they would recognize one for Arkansas, and that winner gets a trip to Washington, D.C. students meet the president, and you get a cash award. So as of right now, Missy and I will go to Little Rock in November and be recognized with the other 2 state finalists at a luncheon. So that's kind of where we are.
We've got a 50% chance of winning, don't we? 2 and 4, so. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Amy, I think you brought a couple of folks with you that are pretty special. And actually, I think you've got 4. Okay, introduce your row there.
So, great, wonderful guys. Fabulous Miss Herrick. And then my rocks that help me do everything that I do, my husband John and my mom Connie.
We appreciate you being here.
If Missy Henry walks in the room, could we just acknowledge her when she gets her? Thank you. I also have the pleasure of introducing to you someone that you already know. We have Justin Minkle and Amber Stout and Courtney Powell-Freeman from the Rotary Club. The Rotary Club is a wonderful partner with Springdale School District. They've always distributed dictionaries to our children in the past. This year, they wanted to get involved with building home libraries with our kids. So they did that. I'm going to let them tell you about this project, but it was an awesome project.
Thanks. The thing that hits me around this time every year is that what's amazing about Springdale is not just the academic achievement, but that we're helping kids live the lives they dream, starting when they're 3 and 4 years old, all the way on up through the amazing things they do later. And for us, the Home Library Project has been just a piece of that for a long time. You know, if we think about our favorite experiences with our kids, for a lot of us it's reading with them, and we've realized that a lot of our students, because they live in poverty, aren't really getting that experience with their parents, and so their shelves are bare. You know, they might have a couple of books. And what we've seen is that when we give them the chance to choose their own books, they get excited about reading, and they also make the most kind of quantifiable reading growth that I ever experienced with a class. And we think that's because not just the excitement, but they have not only the summer slide, but all these little slides. Like when they don't have books at home, you know, they're not reading during the weekend or Thanksgiving, Christmas break, spring break. And the other thing we've seen is family literacy really gets this amazing boost. That's a big focus for Mrs. Fink, you know, at Jones. So this year I have a little girl named Yesenia as a brand new 2nd grader. I met her when she was 2 years old because her older sister did this project. And her sister Anna, who's in junior high now, would always read to Yesenia. So Yesenia has grown up from the time she was 2, having someone read to her. You know, she got books in kindergarten, she got 10 or 15 more in 1st grade, and she'll get some more this year. Dr. Rollins talked yesterday about kind of these 4 principles for our district, and I think this project really connects with 3 of those. You know, academic achievement, personalized learning, because the books are right on the kids' level, they're choosing them, but also partnerships. So we wanted to invite Courtney from Rotary today. I thought she's been just an amazing partner with us because we didn't have to go to her the way we usually do. She came to us and was excited about the Home Library Project, had a lot of ideas, but wanted to sit down with us really early on and talk through everything to make sure it would meet the kids' needs and the teachers as closely as possible. So we're going to bring up Courtney and then Amber, but I just want to thank all of you. We really do feel your support and your respect for teachers every single day, you know, beginning with the day we came back to work yesterday. So thank you so much. And Courtney, you want to come on up?
Well, hi, I know most of you, so it kind of feels like coming home. But so Rotary has always had a focus on 3rd grade education, and we did dictionaries for many years. A couple of summers ago, I was talking with one of the principals, and she was like, you know, with this one-on-one technology we have, it's kind of antiquated. How do you think Rotary can maybe still focus on 3rd grade literacy, but in a different manner? And it got me to thinking. And I took it to the board, and they agreed. And I had a great meeting with Dr. Morledge, and she ported me to Justin Minkle, and I was like picking his brain, everything that we can do. So what Rotary has decided to do is to take home libraries to every 3rd grade student in the Springdale schools. We started right before spring break. We gave every student 2 books that they could have. I'm not in education. That's not my focus. So I didn't want to pick the books. So we asked the students, the teachers, to actually select the books for that student on their reading level, because the teachers know what they need are. We don't know what the needs are. So I got to partner with Scholastic, and they allowed us to purchase the books very inexpensively. And bigger than that, they allowed me to tag it onto their school. So the money that I spent got credited to Sonora, or it got accredited to Jones, or whichever school did it. They could use the money I was spending for their account, to give more bang for their home, for their libraries. So each teacher, I met with all the principals and all the librarians and all the third grade teachers, and they selected them, and then we got them delivered. They were already pre-arranged for us. We gave it to them right before the week of spring break. And back to that slide that Justin was talking about, really wanted to get them this first year in their hands so that they could have something to read over spring break. I have 3 kids currently in the school district. I have 1 that will be there next year, and I know what that importance is. So we felt passionate about it. Our goal for the fall is to have the books in the hands of the students by mid-October, to hope that our effort can help achieve them to get on third grade reading level, which achieves one of the goals for the district. So we gave 2 books last year. I have current enough funding for 3 books right now, and I'm hoping by October I'll have enough funding for 4 books for the district. So that's the goal for this coming year, for 2016 through 2017. And my hope is that by next year we can expand it to 2nd grade, but we'll see how that goes with fundraising. But thank you guys. I just want to tell you about the program.
And I'm just going to wrap it up with a thank you to our business partners and to Dr. Morledge and to Dr. Rollins and all of y'all who have made it possible for us to do what we do as educators. The Home Library Project is just one project of many, but it is making a big impact on students and families, and we're just very thankful for that.
Thank you very much. Courtney, if you would please take back the board's thankfulness to the Rotary Club for doing this, that's awesome. And if there's anything, that we can ever do, let us know. But you guys are wonderful for supporting us like that. Thank you.
Do you want to do Missy? Since Missy is here now.
Oh, yes. We'll do Missy, yeah.
Our other awesome teacher has now made it across the Elm Springs overpass and has made it to the board meeting. We are so excited, but I'd like to introduce to you Missy Henry, who is also another one of my favorite stops when I go to Shaw.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I just wanted to tell you that this was a huge honor for me. Ms. Voss nominated me, and truthfully, I was scared to death to do this and go through this process. I wasn't as much scared to death about having my lesson videotaped, but I was scared to death to write it up because I have not written a paper since I was in college, and it was on a typewriter. And so it's been a really long time. So that was really very, very overwhelming to me. But one of the things that I feel like I was able to share through this was the great math that we've been doing in Springdale schools. Over the past 10 years, I know that we've had 2 winners from our state have been from Springdale, Arkansas. In the cohort that we have before us that hasn't been given their awards yet or named yet, we have 2 Springdale elementary school teachers. And then you have Amy and myself. So I think that says a whole lot for what Springdale elementary math is doing in the direction that we're going. And I think that's something we all should be really proud of. I just wanted to go and represent my school and our district in a great way, and I'm very honored to be a finalist.
Congratulations.
That is great. Thank you, Dr. Morledge. Man, you ready? Thank y'all. Have a great evening.
That's great. That is great. In Springdale schools, we believe in the greatness of our students in Springdale. We believe in the greatness of our teachers in Springdale. And we believe in the greatness of partnerships. Partnerships are resource multipliers. We partnered since the early 80s with Economics Arkansas. You've heard me talk about Economics Arkansas. And Mrs. Marcia Masters and Mrs. Sue Owens work with us every year in conjunction on stock market computer game. Marcia Masters is actually coming on the 19th, Dr. Rollins, that morning to train our teachers yet again on advanced stock market computer skills. So we first train the teachers, and then the teachers train the students. And technology is so critically important in this day and age. These young students and older students get so engaged. And surveys have showed that the research, these children actually perform better on standardized tests and testing instruments in math and economics and content areas after participating. They won spring stock market game at the regional level, and we couldn't recognize them in the spring because it was on the same day as the school board. So Dr. Rollins and Dr. Morledge graciously added it today because we want to recognize them. We had 2 first-place winners, and we had a second-place winner, in spring stock market game. So I'm going to have each of the teachers come up. Some of the students couldn't be here tonight, but I am so proud of Justin Bentley, Lakeside Junior High, his principal, Brentley, I'm sorry I said Bentley, forgive me. And, yes, exactly. And his principal, Michael Shepard, is here. Diane Kellogg, Annette Freeman, I saw her, yes, okay, she's taking pictures, okay. And Lynn Massey. So I'm going to have them just come up and share their students' names and recognize those. I'm so proud of them. They were all recognized in a gala luncheon in Little Rock. They received T-shirts, they received cash prizes, trophies, and you were treated like royalty, weren't you? It was pretty special that day. Yeah, it was a special field trip. Okay, let's start with Justin. Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My students were not able to attend tonight. Their names are Josh Green, Nemesis Barrero, and Christine Valentine, and it was a really good experience. Just spending the day with those kids and getting to know them and see their potential is pretty amazing. And we had several other participants that weren't able to place, but we had a lot of success. I think at one point we had 7 teams that were in the top 10 out of about 300, I think. Yes. And they kind of fell off at the end. So it's a good program, and we're happy to be a part of it. And we're able to add a lot of literacy components along with it to make so even the teams that don't win are participating at a high level and kind of growing some skills. So it's a good experience, and I can't wait to win this fall again and see you guys real soon.
Thank you. First place winners, Lakeside. First place, Lynn Massey, Park Elementary, Allison Strange, Princeton.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Rollins, for your support of this program because it is awesome. I had the first place winners. There were 3. 2 of them have moved out of the state, out of district, and 1 is going to Linden Childers Knapp School, and I was not able to reach him. Their names were Jackson Palmer, David Munden, and Keanu Coben, I know it, Keanu Coben, and he's the one that's moved to Linda Knapp Childers School, and so hopefully he won't share with them but anyway, so they will be 5th graders because these were 4th graders that won. And we had a really nice trophy as well, and it's at the school. And again, I thank you so much for letting us enter in that and paying for that for the school. Also, the one thing that with Keanu that I'll never forget, in some of the things that I was having them do in working on it, I remember him saying, "Wow, Miss Massey, I feel like a real investment advisor." And so I thought it was really cute and sweet and neat, but he really was serious. They had calculators out and all of the things and looking, and I thought that's what it's all about. So thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Great job.
Thank you so much for letting us be here tonight at this exciting time in the school of the school year. It's so inspirational. Thank you, Dr. Rollins, for the things we've had this week, and school board for your service. These stockbrokers here tonight are pretty remarkable. They had it might have been a little confusing. That trophy was from the fall. So they were back-to-back winners. They won 2nd place this spring. And it's really tough. I don't know if we've had, it's tough to repeat. It's just really hard. And if she hadn't been around, we would have had the big trophy in the spring, but that's okay. We shared it with Springdale, right? But I want to introduce these fine students to you. It's Gabe Pelkey, raise your hand, Gabe, over there on the end, and Andrew Lind is holding the big trophy, but they've been holding it, and this is Ian Kenyon. And one of my favorite things about Stock Market Game, and I've told Dr. Rollins this, and my principal and Joe, that, it was that power of the nudge. They said, Ms. Kellogg, you need to do this. This is a good thing. And I was like, really? Wow. And that's what people always say, what's the trick? What's the trick? Well, of course, there's no trick. You just have to jump in there and figure out how to do it. And we analyze the things, and we don't predict the future. We have no idea. But we work hard on just trying to figure it out. And these guys, what was so neat about their spring win is that they started out doing terribly, and they had to just totally pretty much redo their plan. And I was so proud of them. There was a team from Georgia that was in second most of the game, and it wasn't them. And they came on, though, just at the right time. But their parents are here. Ian Kenyon's mom, she's over here taking pictures. Kristen McLeod, and her mother is Sue Wood, who serves in our district. So she's been here serving, and she brought Gabe because his mom is running kids around other places. And I also wanted to mention Andrew's mom, Heather Lynn. Would you raise your hand back there? She is also our partner in education, as we know that, partners are resource multipliers. And I was telling you about our beautification project and how it always gets expanded, because I will talk to Heather and I'll say, do you think we could do this also? And she'll say, well, let me think about it. And she'll call back in 5 minutes and say, yeah, we're in there. We can help you. And so we appreciate her so much. But this is just I appreciate the celebration of our students, too. Thank you, Dr. Rollins. Thank you, Board.
Good job, guys.
And thank you, Ms. Freeman, for being here tonight.
Joe, thank you as well. Things are fine in Masseyville? Oh, girl. Thank you all. Mr. Jenks?
Ladies and gentlemen of the board and Dr. Rollins, so many times you get to hear about our IB program, and because of timing issues with college going on, you never get to see the results of that program. Well, it worked out this year that our IB graduates that you hear about every year, the diploma candidates and now the diploma winners, are here and haven't gone to school yet. So we wanted to show, why don't you guys come over here too? Can't split up 11. Get IB diploma, but we can't split up 11. That's all right. But we want to let you see the fruits of their labor and see what a wonderful group of young people we have here that have gotten this IB diploma. I want to tell you a little bit about what they had to do. During the 18th-month period, during their junior and senior years, they had to create and participate in a CAS project, and CAS stands for Creativity, Activity, and Service. That had to be completed. Then they had to write a 4,000-word maximum independent research paper known as the extended essay and study the theory of knowledge course. For each of these requirements, the students must grade from between an A and a D, but not an E. So you have to get an A through a D, A, B, C, D. Then they have to successfully complete required internal assessments, and these are essays, projects, oral commentaries, etc. And then in May of their senior year, they take external assessments. And these are assessments for their chosen 6 IB courses, 3 of them in higher level courses and 3 of them for SL standard level. The difference is higher level classes takes 2 years to complete, while a standard level takes 1. They have to get, of each of these classes, for the higher level, it's 240 instructional hours, and then for a standard level, it's 150 instructional hours. Once they do that, and they've earned 12 points or more for the HL classes and 9 points or more for their SL classes, and their candidate's total score with all that combined is 24 or higher, they get the IB diploma, and they get 3 bonus points can be earned with the theory of knowledge class score and the extended essay. I can't tell you how much work these individual students did. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best college prep programs there is in our country. And as I've said before, when they come back to us, regardless if they've got scholarships or not, or whatever the case may be, which most of them do, they come back and say their first year of college is a piece of cake. It's almost like you're training harder than what the game is. So we wanted to let you see what these young people look like. and tell you how proud we are of the phenomenal work they did. As a principal, it gives, hair on the back of my neck tingles, because I know this is the best and the brightest that come from Springdale High School. And I want to say how proud I am of them, and thank you for representing our school so well last year, past 3 years, and also the future that you're going to be having. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Turley, and she's going to go each one of them. We're going to give them a little memento tonight, and give you an opportunity to ask them any questions if you feel like it.
Thank you, Mr. Jenks. Thank you, Dr. Rollins and the board, for allowing us to have this fabulous program. So I'm going to introduce the students and tell you what their plans are this coming year, and then hand them our certificate that we're giving them. The actual IB diploma will be coming later this month. We regret that we don't have it to give to them tonight, but it is what it is. Okay. Kenny Arredondo, he is going to have a gap year this year. That's what he's chosen. I think we worked him too hard for the last 2 years, so Kenny, if you'll come forward.
Well, this gap year that I had intended on taking during the middle of the school year, I was planning on going to a liberal arts school. Either Pomona or Grinnell are the ones that I was looking at. And I realized that I have a lot of work that I need to do before I go to college. And a part of that work is this nonprofit organization or aspiring 501c that I have created along with some friends beginning of last year. We're known as Stitches, and right now I'm really trying to get going with that, and we have gotten going with that, and we're doing a lot of work with the community in the arts in efforts to raise or to develop or to get a conscious development within the Northwoods Arkansas youth, and that's really what I'm trying to do. But also I decided to take a gap year off because I needed time to develop my own artwork, because I am a visual artist, and throughout high school it was a struggle finding time for it, because I would be in this rigorous program, which is really rewarding. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with my gap year. And I'm still going to further my education on my own. Hopes further my education on my own by doing my own research, like reading books. I'm still going to educate myself, because big reason why I want to go to college is not for the credentials, but more the education. But that's me.
Not everybody has to describe what we're doing. That's okay, Kenny, because the board is very busy, right? Yeah. But, okay, unless y'all want me to have them. Okay, very good. I want to be. All right, our next diploma recipient is Juana Barroso Adako, and she is going to be attending at the University of Arkansas.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it brief. As Mr. Lee said, my name is Juana Barroso, and I plan to attend the U of A this coming fall. I plan to double major in international relations as well as political science with a minor in French. And yeah, hopefully everything goes as planned.
Good job.
Next is Elizabeth Cooper, and she will be attending the University of Arkansas Honors College.
Yeah, so I'll be going to the U of A. I'm planning on majoring in history, and I'm hoping to go to law school after that, so those are my plans.
Good job.
Next is Selena Juarez Hernandez, and Selena is going to be attending Georgetown University in Washington, D.C.
So I'm attending Georgetown University, and I couldn't be more excited. I feel like it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I plan to major in government and minor in French and Spanish, and I hope to one day become a Supreme Court Justice. So, thank you.
I believe we have an alum up there, don't we? That maybe you need to hook up with. Seriously. Isn't Chuck up there? Is that where Chuck King's at?
Yeah.
He graduated in 1986, and he's kind of a big deal up there. So you can look him up. I'm sorry, it's Charles. Dr. Charles King.
Next, we have Cassidy King, and she is attending the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, the Honors College as well.
My name is Cassidy, and I got the Honors International Studies Program Scholarship at Fort Smith. So it's pretty similar to the IB program, except it's not quite as many essays you have to write. But it's a lot to do with the international travel and stuff, so I just look forward to furthering my education in a similar way.
Good job.
Next is Danette Pena-Mannion, and she is attending Seton Hall University in New Jersey.
So she said I will be attending Seton Hall University, and I found out too late about the honors program, but hopefully after the first semester I can join. And I applied to the College of Arts and Sciences, but I don't really know yet what I want to major in, but I do know that I would like to continue studying French and hopefully study abroad.
Our next diploma recipient is Kevin Pugh, and he is attending the University of Arkansas Honors College.
Yeah, I'll be attending the University of Arkansas Honors Program and majoring in computer science, and then I plan to go back to master's school and get another degree. And
Our next recipient is Lisette Robles, and she is going to be attending the University of San Francisco.
Hi, I'm going to the University of San Francisco, and I'm going to major in international studies and a minor in political science and French.
Our next recipient is Sochil Shields, and she'll be attending the University of Central Arkansas Honors College.
Good afternoon. My name is Sochil Shields, and like Ms. Turley said, I'll be attending UCA Honors College. I plan to major in biology and pre-med, hopefully take my studies and join Doctors Without Borders, and we'll just see what happens.
Nice. Good job.
Our next recipient is Katie Stair, and she is attending the University of Arkansas Honors College.
Hi. Like Mrs. Turley said, I'm attending the university this fall, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think I might be the only one here that's undeclared right now, but I'm definitely leaning towards probably biology, to do something in the medical field, possibly be a neonatal nurse. I think that would be really fulfilling. But I'll be in the Razorback Marching Band, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, thank you.
And finally, we have Mireya Violantes, and she will be attending the University of Arkansas.
Yes, I will be attending the University of Arkansas this fall. I decided to go into the Sam Walton College of Business. I'm undecided, but I'm leaning more towards the information systems area. I like to work with data and analyzing, things of that nature. So I also plan to minor in Spanish and maybe French if God permits, have that much time. So see hopefully where it goes from there. Thank you.
This represents 11. I think we topped out at 12 one year, but this is the second highest we've ever had from this. So thank you guys for all the hard work you put in, and thank you for representing Springdale High School. And if I would be remiss without thanking Ms. Turley. Ms. Turley is, she doesn't know what sleep is. And basically, as they call her, Mama Turley or Mama T, she takes care of these kids, puts them under their wing, helps them when they're having trouble. When that junior year comes around and they're in for a shock, finding out what it really takes to be an IB student, she nurtures each one of them to get them through. And this is a testament to the kind of educator and the work that she does. And I want to thank Ms. Turley in front of this group, tell you, well, thank you for all you do.
Do we have parents here? All taking pictures? Stand up, wave, there you go, good job, congratulations. Good job, everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. You guys are going to coast. That's awesome.
Who's going to see it?
What is it with French? I heard French mentioned a lot of times. What is...
Well, if they already speak Spanish, then they may want to add an additional language.
Okay.
We have a phenomenal French department.
Obviously. Yeah. That's cool.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
We have a friend that works with
I've never heard that many kids at one time want to do French. Man, that's impressive. Seton Hall, San Francisco, Georgetown.
Good job, Miss Turley.
Bracken, thank you for all you do. We're glad to have you here this evening.
Isn't it?
Well, it's an honor to continue the conversation about the work that our board has led in over the years, and Dr. Rollins. And I remember Dr. Love invited me to join, and Dr. Rollins allowed me to join the staff at Springdale High School in 2001. And that was prior to IB, and at that time, in the spring of 2002, we gave 185 AP exams in Springdale High School. And one of the charges is that we want to grow that. So with the partnerships that were built with our middle schools and our junior highs, after 4 years, we were given 400 more than that exams. And then when HAR-BER High School opened, Dr. Rollins challenged us to continue to grow that program of advanced placement. IB came into the picture, and so we have many opportunities for our students to excel. And one of the things I remember being told by a community member back in 2001 when I was investigating was that, we got blue-collar kids. That AP may not be for them. Well, this year we had over 2,600 exams given. And so because of those partnerships that were built amongst our junior highs and our high schools, and I'm very proud and honored to be a part of that work. One of those extensions of that is that there's an AP boot camp, and we have some students here tonight that attended Advanced Placement Boot Camp at the University of Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and invite them up, and while they're coming, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the fact that according to national statistics, only 37% of students who graduate from high school are prepared for college-level academics. Well, IB, advanced placement, those are opportunities to help prepare students because those are actual college courses that students take. And these students went above and beyond because they spent their summer getting ready for advanced placement. I think there were more than what we have tonight, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, tell you what they did this summer and how they're going to be prepared for the upcoming work.
Hi, my name is Sojus, and thank you guys for having me. I thought what I really liked about this camp was that it's very unique. It was not just listening to a teacher just writing on a chalkboard or just learning about it out of a textbook. It was hands-on, self-directed. There's a lot of labs for, I was in biology since I'm taking AP biology next year, and I thought that we did a lot of labs for the major concepts that we had to learn. Like, for example, we didn't just learn mitosis out of a book. We used a deck of playing cards and used them to represent the chromosomes through the whole process. Or we didn't just learn natural selection through a book. We used different tools and food. We went outside and did try to mimic the finches that Darwin saw in Galapagos Islands and where he came up with this theory. So I thought that was just very great experience and really prepared me for the next year. for which I'm going to take the AP test, and hopefully this will all prepare me for that, and hopefully I'll show that all the work that is paid off after the test. Thanks.
What grade are you in this year?
I'm going to 10th grade.
10th grade. What school?
HAR-BER.
Just curious. We've gotten to see you grow all the way through.
Yeah.
It's been a real joy.
Good job.
Thank
Hello, my name is Emily Newberry. I attended the AP Chemistry boot camp. This has really helped me a lot because over the summer we don't get a lot of schooling, but since taking this boot camp has allowed me to get repetition that I wouldn't get usually, because before in 10th grade I took pre-AP Chemistry, which is the prerequisite to AP Chemistry, and we learned a lot of the material that we will be learning in AP Chemistry, just not as in-depth. And taking the boot camp in the summer just allowed me to just recall everything that I'd learned, and so that way when I learn it more in depth in AP Chemistry, it'll just be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember this, and just faster recall.
How long is the boot camp? How long did it last?
It was 1 week, 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah. It was from 9 o'clock to 3:30.
Could you take more than one, or did people just take one?
It was just one.
Just one, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, good.
Thank you very
Good
much.
job.
My name is Jackson. I took the AP Bio part of the boot camp. We covered many parts of the AP exam and did plenty of labs every day. And I feel like it's really prepared me for AP Bio next year. It's going to be wonderful. I don't remember the teacher's name. Was it Miss Reagan? Yeah. Miss Ridden was a very nice teacher. She doesn't teach in Springdale, but I feel like she did an excellent job preparing us as she taught AP Bio herself.
So all three of you go to Harvard?
I think so,
I think I'm taking AP World History as well this year.
You want a nice, easy year, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this your sophomore year as well?
Yes, it is. I'm in 10th grade.
Okay.
And then I'm also taking AP World History and then AP Calculus BC.
AP Calculus what? AB?
BC.
BC?
Yeah.
As a sophomore?
Yeah.
Good Lord, son. Good job.
In addition to AP Chemistry, I will be taking AP Lit.
You guys are going to have a fun year. Good job.
We'd like your parents also that are with them tonight to please stand. One thing that you didn't tell them is what you may be interested in as you leave high school in a few years, if you would tell them that. And I'll let you go first.
I would like to study pre-physical therapy and also possibly run cross-country in college as well as march in the marching band.
You like a busy life, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Well, so I have like two main interests. I have like the analytical science, like biology, and then I also have debate, which I took last year and really loved. So the main profession that I saw that combined the two was medical malpractice law. So I'm wanting to go into that.
Which side of the malpractice are you going to be on?
I haven't decided about that part.
That'd be interesting.
I'm interested in studying chemistry, but I took the bio one because I'm taking pre-AP Chem this year.
Good. Good luck.
I'll just conclude by telling you that, and I think I'll let Dr. Rollins know this, I had a parent contact me whose son graduated 4 years ago, was at the med school announcements where they get their white coats. And Har-BER High School had 6 students from the graduating class of 2012, which is the third most of any high school in Arkansas except in a med school. The IB, the AP, those programs and the partnerships we've built with our middle schools and elementary, middle schools, and junior high schools have allowed that to happen. And we try to look every year to see These students may one day want to do that as well. And so we're honored to be at a district who really pushes the envelope and has great high expectations. And our students are blessed to be a part of that. And our parents are leading the way because they're demanding that our students learn at the highest level. So we're excited about that. So thank y'all for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Dr. Brackett, if you'd come back for just a moment. Well, these young people are something, aren't they? I tell you. Board, I know you're very familiar with the state leadership organizations of our teachers and our administrators. Dr. Brackett is completing his term as president of the Arkansas Association of Educational Administrators. That organization has just held its state conference. Every indication is one of the most successful conferences in recent time. And I'm just so proud of you, and I thank you, and I know this board and community will be as well. Doc, we appreciate all you do to really lead our state.
Thank you very much. It was an outstanding conference that I just happened to preside over. I didn't have a lot of planning and preparation, although I had to go down Sunday because I got a little old coach in me and I needed to see where I was going to stand and sit and all that stuff. A little nervous about that, but we had two of the best speakers in the 24 years that I've been to these events. I believe that I've had the privilege of hearing, challenging our administrators and encouraging and inspiring our administrators. And I found out one of our speakers was in Fort Smith today, so we need to look in trying to get him to Springdale sometime, because if they can afford him, surely we can. But I'm humbled and honored to be president of the AAEA for the upcoming year, and it will be I have a tough job because I'm following people like Dr. Rollins, who has presided before. And I remember asking him, what advice would you give me? And he said, I think we're at a time where our best work is our best defense. And so we have to do our best work every day. Thank you for your leadership in that. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Rollins.
Thank you, Doc. Kendra? Thank y'all for being here.
We still have the FFA.
We have students who excel in this district, and we're honored to introduce you tonight some of our FFA students. And one of our teachers, Mr. Seth Jones, is going to be here to share with you the work that's been going on some this summer that our students have been recognized for. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Board. I'd like to start by saying thank you to the Board, to Dr. Rollins, to Mr. Rollins, to Dr. Brackett, and to all the administrators at HAR-BER High School, because without you all supporting us as teachers and these individuals as students, we would not be able to go out, they would not be able to learn the life lessons through agriculture education that they do. They would not be able to go out and compete and represent not only our community, our school, and our FFA chapter in a national level, but we're so proud of them. But that comes back to thanking you all for all the support that you all give us. So we really do appreciate that. Each one of these individuals have spent countless time and money from about April on preparing swine. At HAR-BER High School, I am in charge of the swine show team, and these individuals have worked very hard, and they've been able to go to a lot of summer contests. As many of you all know, our county fair is coming up, so they've been able to kind of prepare. Some of these contests are the AJSS, which is Arkansas Junior Swine Association, or series, which invites everybody from the 4-state region of the top showers to come and compete. We also had a Driving for the Backdrop clinic, which invites the top showmen across the nation to come to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and they competed and did very well there. We also had an individual go to the World of Pork Expo, which is open to the entire United States, and all kids across the nation go there and bring their best exhibits and compete at a national level. And I'm very happy to say that from the work that these students have done, that they competed at a very high level at each one of these 3 events. So at this time, I'd like to invite the kids to tell you what they own, the animals that they own, and then also how they did in the competitions.
Hello, my name is Dawson Lehman. I own a Hampshire burro. I did reasonably well at competitions. I got reserve to Kirsten Schaefer. She is a magnificent showmanship. This is my first year. She's been doing this for quite a while.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's great.
I owe her a great deal of thanks. She's been the one who really pushed me to do this as well. And I'm looking forward to county. It's going to be fun. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Leah Wallace, and I show 3 different hogs. I have a Yorkshire Gilt, and a Dark Cross, and a Hampshire, and they're both barrows. This past summer, we've been just working hard with them. Jones has been coming up, and we weigh them every week, and then we change feeds according on their weights and where we want them to be for county and Fort Smith. And so I've got 5th place in our class with my Dark Cross. He's done very well.
How many times did you do that?
Twice.
I have no idea about this kind of stuff. I've never raised animals, so tell me, what size of pigs are we talking about here? Little pigs, or are we talking big?
So they were probably, which was like
30 pounds.
Oh yeah, they started out when I first got them around April or so. They were about 30 pounds,
Okay.
and now I'm showing them they're about like 150,
Wow.
and hopefully by the time my bigger ones, my Dark Cross he's pretty little because I'm going to be showing him in Fort Smith also. So I will want him to be around 200, 250 pounds when I show him then. So my 2 that I'm not taking.
That's a lot of bacon.
Yeah, it is. And so
That's awesome.
my other 2, they're going to be closer to 250 pounds this next week when we take them.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
Okay, so I guess we'll start off at the beginning of the story because I have a lot of things to tell. So I bred one of my hogs and she had a litter, so that's where the majority of my pigs are coming from. So I have a blue gilt, I have a hamp gilt, and then out of the litter we sold Dawson's Hamp Barrow, so that's where that came out of. She had a lot of different ones. We also have a blue boar that we plan on taking to Duncan this November. Is that when it is? It's in November. I also started off the season going in June to World of Pork Expo. It's a week-long show in Des Moines, Iowa. I showed a landrace gilt that I bought in Iowa. She's about 250 in this picture. Actually, she's about 350. I'm sorry. She's 350 in that picture. We ended up winning both of the classes that she was in. I received 5th overall in the Landrace Gilt in the junior show, 3rd overall in the open show. So I won a banner and some ribbons, and that was fun.
That's 3rd and 5th in the nation.
Yes, for the breed.
For the breed in the nation.
The conference was it's really fun because you get to know all the different breeders. You make a lot of connections there, learn about different products that you can use on your hog. And then also for the drive for the backdrop, I received Grand Champion Senior Showman. Nope, it was right, which that's from working with my hogs every morning and every night for 30 minutes minimum. I also placed 4th and above in senior showmanship in the AJSA 3 times in a row. I received 3rd overall senior showman in the AJSA. And I'm looking forward to county. Thank you.
When is county this year?
County fair is August 30th through September 2nd. September 2nd.
I have another maybe dumb question, but I don't know.
Okay.
About this. You said earlier you had a litter of pigs, and several different breeds come out of this same?
Okay, so
Explain that to me.
okay, so hogs are shown by markings
Yeah.
unless you're doing a purebred show. So in the market show, it doesn't matter as much as purebred. So as long as they look the way they're supposed to look. So a blue gilt is going to classify as a cross, a light cross. She had a lot of dark crosses, which are mostly black hogs with like a little bit of white. And then a hamp hog is black with a white belt over the shoulders. So we bred my all blue gilt to a hamp boar, and we got a mixture.
How do you get a hog like that to Des Moines, Iowa?
Well, I've made a lot of connections, and I was able to get a friend that helped me when I first started showing hogs to haul my hog up there with this nicer trailer than what I have. So just trailer, and it's an all-day trip, but it's definitely worth it.
Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations.
That's a great job, y'all. Thank you.
More about pigs than I ever knew before. I just know how to eat it.
You're probably talking about their pets.
I know.
Good evening. I hate to follow all of these amazing students. I feel like a bit of an underachiever after all the accomplishments we've heard about. I have on your agenda 2 items. The first one is recommended changes to your board purchasing policy. You may remember that I talked about last month, one of the projects I'm going to be working on is reviewing policies and trying to get them cleaned up and in compliance with any changes to laws and regulations. This is one of those. The reason that we needed changes to this policy was the federal grant guidance changed, requiring now that any federal grant money that is spent for purchases above $3,500 has to go through a competitive bidding process. Our previous policy did not reflect that, so these changes reflect that, and also some additional cleanup changes. You'll see that I put in some definitions that were statutory definitions but were never in policy. It makes it easier if they're just all in one place, and also added an appeal process if anyone were to disagree with a bid that was awarded. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. The markup in your packet, the underlines indicate what will be new language, and any strike-throughs will be deleted. Otherwise, I will ask that you approve the changes to this policy.
Just curious, what was the limit before on federal, or did we just not have it documented anywhere?
It was not documented anywhere, and I don't know that there was a limit. I know when the guidance came down, it was not shocking, but it was a lot more restrictive than any requirements had been before, right?
Okay, so if it's non-federal dollars, is 25,000 the threshold? I didn't read that entire paragraph there. but-
No, it's 10,000 is the state statutory limit, yes.
All right, okay, and so now it's down to 3,500 for federal.
Correct.
Wow.
I make a motion that we approve the changes as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Cook, a second by Mr. Owenby to accept the change. Is there any more discussion? Any other questions for Kendra? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, the second item, there are 3 transfer requests, the details of which are in your packet. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have on those. Otherwise, I would seek your approval on those 3 requests.
I believe there's two coming in and 1 leaving.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'll move to approve the district transfers on page 62 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. McFetrich, a second by Mrs. Cook to approve the transfers as submitted. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go. Thank you.
You're gonna have to share your blanket. Been burning.
I'm gonna buy some more sand and bring everybody one.
Snackies next. I want a Superman.
Seeing these blue coats up here really brings back some fond memories. My senior project, Jeff, I had a land race boar as well. I do remember, even in a down market, I made a slight profit. So I felt really good about that. It was fun. And I still have my blue jacket. Can't get it on, but I still have it. Still hangs in my closet. I love the FFA. That's for sure. This has been a special week we've had, and I really appreciate all of you who could be at various events, and I know sometimes that's very hard to do, but there's a calendar in front of you. We started with our welcoming our principals back on Thursday the 28th. Almost 100 administrators in the room. Phenomenal leadership team that we've been able to assemble. And then we've just followed through with new teachers, 135 new teachers to the district. Just a outstanding group of educators without question. The instructional team will talk with you a little bit later on about the instructional plan that they've presented to the principals. If you'll turn to page 95 in your school board agenda, I'd love to talk with you just a little bit about this. To me, and I expect to you as well. And my hope is to every teacher who's served in the district over the last 30-plus years, this is the story of the Springdale schools. This is a phenomenal story, one that is steeped in professionalism every step of the way. And we continue to grow and stretch, and we've been trying to lay the foundation to move to the next landing on that stairway to educational excellence. We continue to have conversations with all concerned about what that might look like. Obviously, you can start with the foundation piece. We're still growing and extending and deepening that, and I expect we always will be. This idea of teaching all children to high levels of learning is really the heart of our work. Learning for all, learning together, graduation for all, and you can follow the sequence. I think we're in a great position to take the conversation forward, and we've been beginning that for certainly in a focused way throughout our back-to-school sessions. But personalization of teaching and learning is the heart of our work as we go forward this year. That's a different paradigm. You and I didn't grow up that way. We grew up. We went into our biology class. We had a great opportunity, a lecture, and we all did the very best we could with whatever the message of the day might be. Today, it's much more sophisticated than that, and it needs to be. Every kid has their own unique qualities in terms of how they learn best, what their interests are, etc. And when we can bring forward a delivery system that recognizes that, we've got a real chance to help kids, all kids, learn at a higher level. So we're working through that process. I wish you'd take a red line if you can, or make yourself a note. The next landing on that stairway will be personalization of teaching and learning. And it's not hard to look down the road the next 2 or 3 years and think about what the next landing might be. Personalization is one thing, and you might think, well, how can it get any more intimate, any more meaningful than that? And it can. And you can see it coming now as well. A term that might work really well is customization. There are those who would say, for the message to the public schools of the country is that you must be willing to customize. If you're not, parents who are looking for customization will shop the market to find it. We're seeing that in a major way today. I don't need to retrace those footsteps for you, but the message is to try to develop a learning system where every child's important. Every child's got a voice. Every child can influence the program that's in place in terms of how they learn. All of that's inherent in our School of Innovation model, but it'll become more and more precise as we go forward. So, fun to think about it, fun to plan for it. It's really fascinating to me to think about how the delivery system might look different for each of those models. So what are we doing today? We're trying to understand what innovation's all about. And I've said it to every group that I've had a privilege to talk with in terms of my thanks and appreciation to each of you. You know, 2 years ago, we brought a plan to begin a conversation with you. I don't remember one time that you didn't do anything but encourage and develop thoughtful questions that would help us expand the model. With your help, we've ushered forward a phenomenal facility to make that delivery system even more real. We're going to have about 600 kids over there in a few days. And in a blink, it'll be 1,000. And in a blink, it'll be 2,000. That's the way it works. And we all know that. So what are we doing today? So let's don't leap too far down the road. Rather than seat time, we've asked for waivers. We've identified essential learnings. Better stated, we've identified learning competencies. Our teachers, our great teachers in this school district, our teachers on special assignment have written the curriculum. Our teachers at the School of Innovation are putting that curriculum into place, and they're trying new things, and they're stubbing their toe, and they're backing up and trying again. And we all know that's a lot of how you learn today, but learning competencies. Mastery learning, then. How do you know, once you've identified what the essential learnings are, how do you know if a child has it? So you have to have appropriate assessments, not necessarily assessments that were developed for the universe, but assessments that are specific to the sophistication that's going on within that model. And then this idea of letting kids move at their own pace. So mastery learning, self-paced learning, any place learning, all those things are on our plate today as we try to set the stage for the great things that are going to happen in that new setting. Don't lose sight of this. That's a pilot school. That's a laboratory school. The things that happen there are transferring already to our elementary schools, our middle schools, our junior high, and our high schools. That's how you, in my view, that's how you help move a system forward. And when you've got great teachers that are willing to invest and take on a new belief system with the sole purpose of better serving our kids, you've got something that's pretty special. So that's happening in the Springdale School District today, and all the materials that I've given you. And Randy laughed at me. I think I kept it under 100 pages. It wasn't too bad, but I have given you several other versions since then, so you
I like this one best.
do you? Good. Well, you tweak it as you go, don't you?
Dr. Roll, you talked about having, 600 kids out at SOI. I just made some notes, and I'm probably missing something. Within the last 3 years, we opened HAR-BER Stadium, Springdale High School Stadium, Knapp Elementary, SOI, and we're getting started on Springdale High School athletic facility.
That's on the drawing board now. Don't forget Elmdale Elementary and Westwood Elementary, and those are phenomenal additions. I'm really excited about Elmdale. I got to get out. I hadn't had a chance last couple of days, but are you? I need to give you. I think I did give you. Didn't I give you copies of pictures that Miss Hutton had sent to us? She's just elated, as you can imagine, and the staff is as well. I think we've all agreed many times we love to build new schools, but I tell you, bringing older schools forward is really a special experience.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of
That may be your specialty.
Do what, dear?
That may be your specialty. You know, when you look at Springdale High School and even this building, just the Westwood Elementary is beautiful, you know.
Isn't this a great place? This is a great place.
In the last 3 years, and we've done our district's done all that without any increased tax burden on our patrons.
I don't believe we've had a tax in, was it 2010, 2011, in that time frame? Well, thank y'all. Listen, do y'all have a copy of the agenda for today's meeting, or these last few days' meetings? Y'all have been through this so many times, but if you can imagine Springdale High School with 800 elementary teachers, up there just 2 days ago, the school was full, and they were just as happy as they could be and elated to be back and visiting with each other about the new year. And the chamber has just done a beautiful job. I mean, they did a beautiful job with that experience, and wonderful business leaders have come in and really tried to help make that very special. And every time I hear a report, it inspires me that much more. Our chamber's reportedly been doing that for 50 years. You remember that? That's a neat deal. And Senator Bozeman joined us yesterday. Really, glad to have him. The governor was here. I continue to be so appreciative of the governor's support for career and technical education, what we're seeing in STEM education, et cetera. He's talked yesterday about the computer coding initiatives, which has been so special to him. He said his goal was to have 8,000 kids trained in computer coding information systems, et cetera. He referenced the Springdale School District and the work that's going on there. We've had great initiative this summer to really advance and specialize. And I'm sure it's no surprise to you that foundation work that has been put in place, he's now coming back and helping lead advanced placement initiatives in all those areas, et cetera. So we want to be and continue to be a major part of that, and certainly will be. But the agenda it's bold, and we were up there for about 3 hours today and did our best to wear everybody out. You know how that goes. We came close probably, but it's a great time to be with our staff. And again, I'm so proud of you all and appreciative of you. Anything you want to talk about? We think we're ready to have school. We're expecting about 23,000 kids on Monday, and I expect it'll be a great day.
You know, I really enjoyed Damian Williams yesterday morning. Some of the things that he said about our staff was just, it was just so heartwarming, and it was so honest and true from his very heart, and how they influenced him.
Oh, it touched us all.
Oh my gosh.
That's for sure.
Somebody said that he was taped, so I hope we can get that out there, and I hope he will let us share that, because I think our students would really benefit from hearing what he said as well.
I could listen to those stories for a long time, couldn't you? I think we ought to acknowledge that on Friday night, the district kind of changed its format on our Hall of Fame. It was a Springdale High initiative for years and years. Now it's a district-wide initiative. I was really honored to be in the audience that evening. Mr. Hutchinson was recognized. Hartzell was recognized. Damien was recognized. Mitch was recognized. Fred Hartsfield was recognized. Coach Johnson was recognized. The list just goes on and on and on. But so often, the young people, and I saw it vividly demonstrated Friday evening, they talked about their athletic experience, which is always extremely special. But how many times, even Friday evening, did they talk about this school district and its commitment to prepare kids for a great future, academically, personally, et cetera?
I heard teach them all 2 or 3 times.
I did too. I did too. So those are beautiful, beautiful experiences. We've had a great week, and I've highlighted just some of those events. But again, you see that sort of thing on a monthly basis, and I think we'd all agree we're privileged to be a part of the experience. Thank y'all. You want to stretch, Randy, or anything like that? We've kind of got some technology. We need to kind of make an adjustment in technology unless we've got that done.
You want to let Rick go ahead and go, and then we'll kind of see
Well,
where we're at?
why don't we take just a
We'll
few
take a
minute
break.
break? We got to do a little tweaking with the technology system, I think. Is that right, Megan? We're still working on it? Okay. All right, let's just take a few minutes, then we'll come right back.
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's not, I can't, well, I can't get it.
817 Charter Authorizing Panel, action on district conversion amendment request, Springdale School of Innovation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale School of Innovation appeared before the Charter Authorizing Panel requesting an amendment to their charter.
Okay, yes.
The newest of the changes.
Okay, I'll, no, this is fine. What I do in my phone, I have each school listed and
It kind of shows up as just a...
817 Charter Authorizing Panel,
And I saw it
action.
yesterday when I looked at it.
pull it up on my phone. Still trying to figure out Now I know everybody. Yeah. This just make.
817 Charter Authorizing Panel,
Remind myself who's who, and that way when I walk in, I'll look like an idiot.
I knew.
Huh?
I knew.
action on district conversion amendment request, Springdale School of Innovation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale School of Innovation appeared before the Charter Authorizing Panel requesting an amendment to their charter. By unanimous vote, the panel approved the request. No request for the State Board to review the decision.
Eight 817 Charter Authorizing Panel, action on district conversion amendment request, Springdale School of Innovation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale School of Innovation appeared before the Charter Authorizing Panel requesting an amendment to their charter. By unanimous vote, the panel approved the request. No request for the State Board to review the decision made by the panel was submitted.
817 Charter Authorizing Panel.
Amen, brother. Jesus saves. Isn't that awesome?
817 Charter Authorizing Panel, action on district conversion amendment request, Springdale School. Eight 17. Charter Authorizing Panel. Eight 17 Charter Authorizing Panel, action on district conversion amendment request, Springdale School of Innovation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale
So will this bother you? That is what you want. Yes, will this bother you if this is in here? Good. He's got his jacket on.
Yeah.
I turned his thermostat up, so we'll see.
Michael.
Cynthia, where are we? Rick's doing his deal?
Get what you pay for.
Okay.
Just do hot chocolate.
All right, Rick, it's all you.
Okay, what you have there in front of you, it's just this is the Northwest Arkansas Visitors Guide that the Democrat Gazette prints every year. On page 26, we've got a nice ad on the School of Innovation. We're the only public school that advertises in this. It's 4 years in a row that we've done this. All the chambers of commerce in Northwest Arkansas get copies of this and pass it out to newcomers. So we do think it's valuable. The next, if you do an ad, the next page, you do get a copy. Frankly, it wasn't quite as big as it was in previous years. I haven't talked to the salesperson about that yet. But last 2 years, we've gotten a picture with it, and the copy's a little bit larger where you could read it. But nonetheless, we're in competition. We're in competition right now. Everyone of you know that. We're competing. And we've got a lot to compete with, but this is really good to compete with. And so our School of Innovation, we wanted to get that out there. We thought it was nice to have some kids post in front of while the construction's going on. I will tell you that's a 39-year-old idea, because my second year at the University of Arkansas, we had Eddie Sutton, Marvin Delph, Ron Brewer, and Sidney Moncrief in front of Barn Hill Arena with hard hats as they were doing that. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. You all have a copy of our social media numbers. And so let me just tell you that I've had the privilege of being here 10 years now, and I don't come in front of you very often, and our job is to brag on other people, never on ourselves. But our task when we got here, I thought, was to build our own newspaper. And at that time, there were 2 newspapers in the area. In fact, there might have even been 3 at that point. But really to tell our story, because they can't cover everything that we do. Brenda does a great job. They've had reporters through the years that do a great job. TV they're not going to come to your campus every day, but we can post every day. And Facebook has been a great delivery for us. Do you know that there's 7.3 billion people in the world? 1.7 billion are on Facebook. 1.7 billion. And I can tell you that, especially even your people's age, this is where most people are getting their news. I ask everybody where I go, where do you get your news? Do you read the newspaper anymore? Some do. Some read it online. I'll ask young people, where are you getting your news? They'll tell you right here. That's where they're getting their news. And so that's what we try and do, is make sure that everybody has a chance to do that. We have 14,000 friends, but that doesn't mean that's all your reach is. So if those of you are familiar with Facebook, when it tells you how many views you have, that's how many people actually see it. That's not how many pass through. They actually have to stop and look at it. And this past year, we posted 845 items. That is an average of, on a school day, that'd be 4.4 per day. If you take our 262 days, because we do post some in the summer, that would be about 3.3 per day. We had 2,355,000 views. That means people stopped and looked at it, okay? That's almost 800,000 more than we had the year before. I was just skimming through some things. In 2012, we had about, I think it was 120,000 views for the whole year. That's 2012. That's 4 years ago, 2.3 million. That's getting the word out. You all saw the Marshallese video last time? That was an amazing video, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. We posted that, and it's our world's record by far. 140,000 people have seen that. Now, that's the power of sharing. And I don't know about you, when I saw it the first time, I was so gripped emotionally, I sat there almost with tears running down my face, and I thought, well, I know somebody's going to want to look at this. And it was emotionally gripping, and that many people saw it. The second highest was last year when Springdale High School was ranked the 9th best high school in the state. We had over 40,000 people that saw that. So I just want to let you know that if you're not looking at it, it's the way you're going to find out what's going on in Springdale. Newspaper does a good job, TV does a good job, but they just can't cover all the things that we're doing. In fact, Dr. Rollins talked about the last couple of days. If you weren't in attendance, it is well documented on our Facebook page, including Damian Williams' video. And to this point, over 11,000 people have looked at that. It was a powerful testimony to how teachers impacted a young guy in Springdale, Arkansas. And if you haven't looked at that, you ought to take a look at it. It's really, really good. So thank you, Dr. Rollins. Thank you all for the privilege of doing this. We have so many great stories. The only thing I shared this today at as we started. You think about this, 23,000 students, 2,500 employees, Do you know there's only 2 places in the entire state of Arkansas, if we all came together at the same time, that we could go? War Memorial Stadium or Razorback Stadium. Other than that, there is no venue in Arkansas where all 25,000 of us could fit. That is a large district, and to see them all come together today, all our teachers, very impressive. So those of you who are there, I'm sure enjoyed that terrifically. If you didn't, again, it's well documented on our Facebook page. Thanks a
Can I
lot.
make a suggestion?
Sure, because you are a very active Facebook page. Thank you.
Well, I try.
You are. You and Michelle and Randy and Cynthia. My
But
gosh.
about a month ago, I went through, and went through my friends list, noticing how many people hadn't liked the Springdale page yet. So I invited them to join, and quite a few of them did. So maybe as you're out there talking to people, say, hey, go through your friends and ask them to like our page if they haven't yet.
Well, and another key is to share, because if you share a good story, a lot of times people will like it then. And I tell you, it does. We compare ourselves to other districts, and I know we want to be the best at everything, and we post a lot more than anybody else in our area. So we've been very, very blessed there. So, but we have a good audience. They look at it, and so we're grateful for it. It'd be lousy if you put it out there and nobody looked, right? So thank you all for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Okay. Megan?
Hello there. So we are going to talk about our instructional management plan. So Dr. Rollins gives us a charge every year to decide and determine what our goal and what our direction is going to be for our district. And so we start working on this plan in about December based on the information we have at that point. And then we flesh it out through the coming months from a couple of things. One is we look at growth from fall to spring, and we see how our students doing and progressing based on interim assessment data. The other thing that we look at are classroom assessments. How are things going in the classroom in general? And then this year, we added the component of ACT Aspire, which we typically include our state assessment, but for this year, this is the first year we've had that data to include also. So I have notebooks, but some of you made a comment about my heft of notebook last time. And so if you would like a notebook, first thing I will say is if you would love one, I would love to give you one. If you would not love one, I understand and my feelings are not hurt, because not everybody is as nerdy as me. But what you'll find in your notebook, and Dr. Rollins has a notebook, is there are 9 tabs that are included in that. And the first 3 tabs talk about what our instructional management plan is about. The next 2 tabs tell you how is that going to shape shift and what is that going to look like in terms of P5, and then the next tab talks with you about what is going to be happening in 612. And as an overview, there are several researchers that are included in there, and there's a lot of research that goes into a lot of reading. And what you will find as you read through our plan is we are going for 3 priorities, which is simplicity, clarity, and priority. How do we prioritize the things that we need to be doing in our district to ensure that we have a laser focus on what that needs to look like for students? And so as you go through, and if you would like a copy of it, I'd be happy to share it with you. But the thing I would like for you to know is we've based these premises on this idea of Moore's Law, which talks about that the amazing power of the computer doubles, and it doubles every 2 years. So the job that we have today is harder than it was 2 years ago, which was harder than it was 2 years before that, and so on and so on. And everyone has, I would say most of you have cell phones. The power that's held within one iPhone is more power than all of NASA had to put 2 men on the moon. So the access and the power to information and how we harness that, and not only that, you know as well as I do, we have to teach students the ability to discern what is correct and what is not correct. So just because the information is out there doesn't mean it's true or right. And so our job as educators is to ensure a process to go through and identify what those things are, which is where the clarity piece comes in. And priority is for us to ensure that we have that focus. One of the things that we're going to be doing between now and December, which Dr. Rollins has thankfully approved, is we are going to be building out 98 courses. And those 98 courses are going to be from our core content area, P12, and we'll be building them up, taking the best of the best. So what our goal is to look at the overall scores in our district from multiple assessments and see which teachers yielded the highest results on their assessments, which students rose to the level underneath their guidance and their care and their teaching. And then we want to take their course that they taught those students, and then we want to put it up. And we want to continue to do that 98 times all across the content areas. And what we'll have at the end of that is by December, we'll have courses that are standing upright. And so Mr. Mickey McFetridge, who is Miss McFetridge's son, has agreed to take on that challenge. And so he and the team of Tech TOSAs are going to wrap around and pull those content areas up. And of course, that couldn't be done without teachers wrapping around what that's going to look like and helping to inform that. So we truly will have a cadre to access of the best, which is awesome. The other thing that I was going to talk to you about is I think Dr. Rollins did something very smart initially when we received the Race to the Top grant, which was to take the money that's part of Race to the Top and to distribute it to allow us to build this one-to-one capacity, which is allowing us to do all of these different avenues. But I hope that if you had a chance to hear some of his back-to-school comments to either of the groups. The way he crafts a message to inspire them to be able to achieve these things is how we are able to have the results that we're able to have. He is such a visionary, and he's such a leader, and he also will allow us to go out and try these different things that haven't been done before. If you ask me if there's a cadre of courses out there that another public school has, they don't. But that doesn't deter him. He said, let's do it. So that is our goal between now and December. And then from January through May, we will be reviewing, editing, and revising those courses based on third-party input and based on our reviews within our district also to ensure that they're quality and they're exactly what our intent is. From that, the other thing that we've been working on, and if you can look at your screens, and I know they're not ideally large for you to see, but we have worked for the last 2 years on this little button, which looks like so unassuming, right? It looks like it's super not a big deal, but it's a huge deal. But if you go to our main webpage, which is www.sdale.org, you will find in the upper right corner this little word, which is so small but so big, called curriculum. And if you click on curriculum, you will find, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this remotely, which is a little awkward, a couple of bubbles. So you'll see literacy, you'll see math, science, social studies, and then you'll see physical education. The other thing that you'll notice is that we have a Teachers on Special Assignment TOSA tab, a place where they go. The things that we heard back from teachers last year are when the TOSAs make changes or when the instructional facilitators make changes or the IFs make changes, there is no place for us to know where they've made the changes. And we as teachers don't have time to go in there to try to figure out where did you make the change that you made. So what we did is created another site, which is the support page. And so what can you do in the support page? You can do a couple of things. One, you can see a weekly memo from TOSAs, which tells you a list of dates, and I'm going to pull this up not to bore you, but to explain to you. In here, what you'll find is all of the dates from last year, from elementary and secondary, the changes and the updates and anything that a teacher, a need-to-know area, where would they need to go? The other thing that you're going to notice on the TOSA page is a TOSA request form. That request form was built out by our technology TOSAs, and what you can do in that form is you can go in and request a TOSA to come into your class to help you do a model teach, or to help walk you through a unit, or to provide you input. The other thing that you'll find is the technology integration page, which allows you to go in and have training on demand depending on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for more information on SAMR, it'll take you to a SAMR course. That SAMR course will allow teachers to go through, click on tabs, have a better understanding of what is SAMR and what is it all about. The other thing that this awesome site has, if I can click on it, it's like swimming in a fishbowl a little bit from this direction. So literacy. In literacy, what I found from working at the Arkansas Department of Education and working with my colleagues is that every district builds out curriculum, and they either buy it or they purchase different components of it, or they've done some self-creation and they've kind of got a bimodal approach. What you don't find in any other district in Arkansas is that their curriculum is open and that it's out. So teachers within that district can access it if you have a username and password, which is great, but nobody else can. So until we get to this idea of common knowledge, like what are we all doing, it's hard to raise the level of what that expectation is. So the first thing that I told Dr. Rollins, maybe my second day here, is we have got to have a site that is not password protected, that doesn't require a username, that anybody, whether they're a homeschool parent, whether they're a teacher, whether they're a mom and dad's, whether they're whoever they are and wherever they are, they can have access to this curriculum. So what we've done is we have an open source document that's on here. Anyone can access it, anyone can get it, and the feedback that we've had from this has been overwhelming because people are saying like, wow, you're going to put this out there? Because it's a lot of trepidation on the part of teachers to put their work out there, to be criticized, to be judged, to be all of those things. So is it perfect? No. There are misspelled words, I'm sure that you will find, not that we didn't try to find them ourselves. It is a process, but curriculum is messy. It's not neat and it doesn't come in a box and it's not perfect. So putting it in a password protected zone for people to access is great for employees, but you never get the feedback and input from other districts and from other people. And so what we found from putting this up is we now get that feedback. They say, hey, did you know whatever it is, and then we can go and make modifications to the unit based on what that feedback and what that input tells us. So we also send this out to a third-party advisor, which is QUIP is who we use. That's a cadre group from the Chief State School Officers, CSSO, and their job is to go through curriculum and provide you feedback. And so, you know, we think we're great as long as we think we're great, as long as we keep it under wraps, but as soon as you put it on a platform, you know, it's kind of like social media. Everybody wants to respond. So what you'll find as you click through these is broken up into units. This particular one is for literacy. And in the world of literacy, you have pre-K through 12, and what we've done is broken them up into units, 1 through 4, and then we do year at a glance. We tell what the foundations are, and secondary is the same component, same structure. But when you click on this, these units are not for the student. These are just teachers talking to teachers, very simply. And we've got them broken up into 3 units. We've got stages that teachers walk through, and there's 3 stages. One is desired results, and then ultimately it culminates with assessment to tell them what that needs to look like and how that needs to go. The other thing that you'll notice are little red icons through the videos, through the units, and those are videos. Those are screenshots of the writers who wrote it, talking to the teachers who will teach it, telling what they were thinking when they wrote it. So the video is super short. They're 1 minute, 2 minute videos, no big deal. But as a teacher, the thing that you don't have time to do in your classroom because of Moore's Law is you don't have time to go and grab all of the best of the best. So this is the best of the best who have gone out, found the resources, and they've put them in one place. And they've said, based on what we've seen and based on assessment results, these are some of the best practices that you can use. So if you don't know where to find a graphic organizer, or you don't know where to find some of those things, this will take you there. It outlines the standards for you. It gives you ELL scaffolding. It gives you special education scaffolding. It gives you all of the components you need to be able to teach in your classroom. So if you've never taught before, teaching is so overwhelming because you don't even know what to do or where to start. This lays out essential questions. It lays out the understandings. It tells what the knowledge and skills will be. If you do these things, your student will be able to do X. It's very clear, it's very defined. The other thing that you'll notice as you click on these, there's hyperlinks all the way through, which tells them how to get to certain things. So if they don't have a presentation rubric, we're not saying you have to use this one, but if they click on the link, it takes them to a presentation rubric. So for the teacher, it is a place where they can click, go through, and find different things. So I'm saying all of that to say, we have been super busy working on a lot of really cool stuff for curriculum, not only for the students of Springdale, but Dr. Rollins has graciously allowed us to not password protect it and to not put a username on it, and it's out for the world to see. And we get feedback from the state of Arkansas, we get feedback from the United States, and we get feedback internationally on these units, and that is the power of what Moore's Law can offer on the other end.
Hypothetically, if you're watching, I don't know if it's Fallon or Kimmel, when they go out into the streets and they ask these kids all these American history questions,
Right.
or government questions,
Right.
and they all fail them miserably.
Right.
You can go to this website and you can get curriculum,
Right.
go to American
Right.
history and find
Yes.
out what we teach.
Yes. Yes. So one thing that you will notice specifically in social studies, when you go to our main page, the other thing that you will notice is that we are building out science and social studies as we speak. And you're thinking like, we've had science and social studies forever. Why are you just doing it now? The State Board of Education just approved this summer those 2 framework courses. And so what we didn't want to do is get so far ahead of the curve that we were doing and having to retract and do double work. So we've really focused in on literacy and math. It is up and it is going, and then we've got components of science and social studies that are being built, that are being handed. You can see that the 4 units are there, but we don't have years at a glance. So we're in the process of still building those. We've worked this summer on building those, and it is definitely a process. And so I just wanted you to know this is happening, and it's something that you don't normally have access to, or you might not even notice that button is up there. But in the world of fellow nerds like me, like it's super, super exciting. So much so that when we went to the State Board of Education and we asked for approval of our last round of charterdom, which I told you it was a series of hoops, which we, received a bow on top of the present in June, which was huge. We had to go back and they wanted to do a review. And we were thinking like, honestly, like we have done every single thing that you've asked us to do, and we're just trying to do right by kids, honestly. We just want to do the right thing. And so we went down, they said we had to appear, we would be there at a certain time, and they send you a hearing letter. And so I got the hearing letter, and I took it to Dr. Rollins, and he said, well, go. So here we go, we're going again. But the thing that happened at this hearing that was different than the last hearing is I showed this particular component and piece, what I just showed you, to the state board, the previous hearing, to say, like, just so you know, we're not hanging out in Springdale. We're working really hard, and this is some really cool stuff. And so this is what they had to say at the state hearing. We were action item A17, and we're all going to say a small prayer real quick to ensure that this video plays with sound, because that would be super awesome.
817, Charter Authorizing Panel, Action on District Conversion Amendment Request, Springdale School of Innovation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale School of Innovation appeared before the Charter Authorizing Panel requesting an amendment to their charter. By unanimous vote, the panel approved the request. No request for the State Board to review the decision made by the panel was submitted. The State Board may exercise a right of review and conduct a hearing on the Charter Authorizing Panel's determination at the State Board's next meeting. So again, no one has submitted a request to review, so your decision is to review or not review.
Okay.
This amendment had to do with contracting with the outside provider to provide curriculum that's online curriculum that the School of Innovation has not yet been able to create.
I have a motion, but I want to make a comment about this for all the other school districts in the state. They have written curriculum for all of the standards they're giving access to anybody who wants to access that. I mean, it's like, why reinvent the wheel? And it's great. I know the people who are involved, and I have every confidence that I know teachers, some teachers don't like it when you start messing with their curriculum, but let me tell you what, it still leaves plenty of opportunity for the art of teaching. They're just dealing with the science of the process and the introduction, and it is spectacular. And based on that, I move that we not review.
Second. It's been moved by Ms. Sook not to review, and second by Ms. Savers. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So after that happened, Dr. Cleveland's pants are in the front scene. I don't know if you were able to see that. Let me see if I can press play. So she's going to talk for a
817 Charter
second. You're gonna see
Authorizing
a guy's
Panel,
pants,
Action on
toward the
District
back of the
Conversion
room. And I'll
Amendment
pause it when we get
Request,
there, 'cause this is
Springdale
critically
School of
important for you
Innovation.
to know and see.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On May 18th, representatives of the Springdale...
Okay, right there. So right there, there's Dr. Cleveland. He's facing that way, and I'm sitting on the back chair, and she said that, and we both went, like, we were thrilled. We were thrilled. So I say that to say, sometimes you may not see the work that the TOSAs are doing, that the instructional facilitators are doing, that your teachers are doing. They are all working incredibly hard to try to put things and put structures in place. I'm a huge believer in systems, but we've not had a system for curriculum development before. We've just done what we think is best, and we say it is the best because it is the best. This is a spiraling structure for how we look at curriculum, how we implement it, how we look at the results, and we make revisions off those results. And so Dr. Rollins likes to ask me all the time, when is this over? And the answer is, it's not over. Curriculum is it's a continuous spiral. We always want to get better at getting better. And how we do that is looking at our assessments results to tell us that. So I wanted you to know, in case you don't know, or in case someone says something to you like, wow, y'all's curriculum is awesome, thanks for sharing it, and they're not in our district, that's why. It's up on the web, they can see it. And Dr. Rollins, I know that was a huge, huge leap of faith to let us go forward and do that and put that up. But I can tell you, it has been a huge conversation starter in the world of curriculum instruction in our state and definitely beyond. So, thank you. Yeah.
Are we drawing data from who gets it? I mean, do we know who's pulling it? Do we have, I mean, like we do with social media, do we have with that one?
So we have analytics that we can look at in terms of website and clickability. The thing that to be able to capture more data from them, we don't want to get into the web username, password mode.
I would be more interested in where they're from. Are we seeing that, yes, it's locally? Is it more small towns? Is it more bigger? Is it, I mean, how?
So one thing that you will notice when you do go through and look, and I'll go back to literacy because it's been there longer. We initially started, and then I pulled down the units because we were going to revise them in the summer. And I was hit up with about 50 emails within about less than 24 hours of people saying, where to go? Like, where is this? I can't get it. And so what we did was we archived at the bottom last year's archive and put it in a place so that if you used that version, not the most current version, there it is, and you can access it and you can locate it. So I can tell you what I've had in terms of feedback and emails. The other thing that you'll notice is that we have a trademark at the bottom, and so I'm constantly receiving questions of, can I change this or can I do this? And I'm like, yes, delete our name, put your name on it, do whatever you want to do to it to make it your own. But don't spend time redoing what we've already done. Even if you take components and lift certain pieces from it, take components and lift certain pieces from it. You know, our job with that grant, the intent was to say, share the knowledge, bring the power together. We always talk about wanting to be partners with other districts and other schools, and this is how you do it. So it's up there. We've got it, and then we've been revising this summer based on our ACT information.
So should the button be bigger?
So should the button be bigger? So first, we didn't have a button, to tell you the truth. We had no button on there. What I was fielding questions for, the reason there is now a button in the upper right, and Ms. Martinez, I don't know if you guys know her, but she does an awesome job on our website. She's the one that keeps everything up, going, and correct, which is beautiful, yes. But a lot of those questions were coming from that, and they were having to go initially to divisions, and then they had to find it, and then they had to click on it. So she stuck a button up there and just stuck it up in the corner, and now I can tell people when we're going out, just get on their main page. It's in the upper right corner, takes you straight to it. So yes.
I don't want a 3-ring binder,
Oh,
but
okay.
is there someplace online that we can see
Yes,
that?
I can share it with you, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can share you a link.
To it, but I don't need another.
I can give you another 3-ring binder if you like it. And our theme this year is POW.
I've got 6 drawers
You know,
full
we,
of stuff, so.
our teachers and the administrators, they are the superheroes of how kids move and excel in school. So when you get it and you open it, that's the first thing you see. Okay, other questions? Oh, it was an ordeal. I have Wonder Woman shoes. I will have to show you.
No, well, we're just talking about being cold up here, and I'm like, I need a Superman snuggie.
You do? Oh, you really do.
I'd like a binder. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. No, Dr. Rollins just said to ask.
We were laughing about it.
It's really good.
I know it is.
Yeah, it's good content.
it's online, I don't think about it.
I
or
know.
forget.
Yeah, yeah, yes. I'll get you a binder, for sure. Any other binders, takers? Online link?
Just an email.
Got it.
Yeah.
Online.
Send us an email with the link and we can.
Perfect. I will link you up.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions that you guys have? Okay, thanks.
Megan, that's pretty special when a state board member takes that kind of position publicly. That's really impressive.
Yes, it was so awesome. In case you don't ever go to the state board meetings, and I know Ms. Clay is here, and she's familiar. Dr. Cleveland is familiar from our turns there. They don't typically ever take a polarizing stance on anything other than a straight up down vote, and then they're ready to move on to the next thing. So the fact that she said that was like, wow. And I wish you could have. I mean, we were both like shocked, speechless, like great, yay. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So when you see teachers, when you see instructional facilitators in TOSAs, thank them for their work on this. They've done an amazing job. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Dr. Cleveland, you ready?
My report's not as much fun as Dr. Slocum's, but I'll do the best I can to make it fun. How about that? Okay, you have on the back of your book, I believe it starts on page 170 through 175, all of the new staff that we have. So you've got an updated version as of last Thursday of all the employees that we have. I know you like comparisons from year to year, and I do too. It helps me benchmark where we are and where we're headed in regard to our staff numbers. In 2015-16, we had 1,618 full-time equivalents. That means not people, but positions of 1.0s. We had 1,630 employees, many of those part-time. Make sense? In regard to certified. This year, we have 1,670 employees, more are part-time, and 1,660 total certified FTEs, or full-time equivalents. Now, Dr. Rollins he asked me every day, he said, when are you going to quit sending me these recommendations? And I said, well, I would have liked to quit a while ago because it's very difficult to bring these to you. But there are certain standards that are required when you open schools, and we have to meet those standards. And he never questions regard to the standard. But we do know, because Mr. Hayes tells us every day that, at some point, you don't have enough money to cover the people that you're going to have, especially with the salary schedule that we have. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we are laser focused on making sure we hit the standard and being very careful about any overages. We just have to be, and I know that you encourage us to be that way as well. So there are a total of 51.29 new positions. Now, don't let that shock you, because we've absorbed 10 positions in the district as well over time. So Springdale High has shrunk just a little bit in regard to their student numbers. Mr. Jenks was able to absorb a couple of those positions. HAR-BER High has elevated in their number, and so we added a couple there. But overall, we're up 41.29 positions. Our work right now is to try to hold that number, even though we haven't seen kids yet. When kids show up, if we have overages, we may have to make some additional adjustments. That's when Dr. Rollins says, 135 and growing. Right now, as of Thursday, we're up to 142 new to the district employees. I spend 30 minutes to an hour with each one, sometimes a little less, but most of the time 30 minutes. I have to admit that the quality this year is above previous years. We have many doctoral folks, have doctorate degrees come in and want to work here, have worked at the university level and want to work in our district. Dr. Rollins asked me the other day, he said, what's the average age of the new people in our new teacher orientation? Well, I didn't know. I haven't collected that data, but we have some very experienced people in that group. They're just very experienced, and so we're very pleased. And we understand that you get what you pay for. We believe that. We've experienced that. So anyway, classified, we have 998 classified employees. We've had as many as 1,100 over time. But what's happened is we've decreased the contracts as far as the number of people who are on full-time contract, and we have many timesheet people, which means in the summer we have mowers and weed eaters and, kids throughout the summer and all. And so we're trying to make sure that we focus in on who are direct employees of our district. And whenever we don't actually need them throughout the remainder of the year, we want to make sure that we treat them fairly. But at the same time, if we don't have a position to host them the whole year, we allow them to go find some alternative employment. And many of them go to school. So that's my report in regard to new staff, unless you have any questions for me. I'm hoping that the information we provide you is good, and that's what you'd like. I have to really brag on someone that helps me in this tremendously. There are two people, actually. Miss Leanne Smalling, who helps, and she's my administrative assistant. But the one who carries the water in this thing is Dee Hobbs. Dee Hobbs is incredible. She works for Kelly in Kelly's office, and she's absolutely a gem, and I do not know what I would do without her. Dr. Rollins is shaking his head because he feels the exact same way. So we're very thankful for Dee, and I want to say that in a public way. She's remarkable, and Kelly as well. Mr. Hayes as well. We appreciate Kelly, even though sometimes he's critical. Of me, particularly. Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
I was just curious. Okay. I was just doing some math here. So last year, if your full-time equivalent was 1,618, and you're looking right now that your full-time equivalent's been 1,660. Am I right?
Yes, that's what she has.
Okay. So that's a growth of the 41 or 42 FTEs.
41.29. We've absorbed 10.
Okay. So that represents about a 2.5% increase in FTEs. Is there any connection that you think you might have a 2.5% increase in student population? Is that why we're there, or is it?
We'd really love to. The main reason, I'll just tell you, the main reason for the increase is meeting the standards with opening the two new schools.
Okay.
For example, over at Linda Childress Knapp, we have 2 administrators. We have 2 instructional facilitators. We have a counselor, a librarian, so forth and so on, a GT teacher, all that are required in the standards, but maybe not necessary had they stayed and we didn't open the building. We would have had really, really full buildings. We would have had the required number of teachers already in the other buildings where the kids came from, but adding a new LEA, we have to meet the requirements. And so there's, I think 16 is the number that we counted automatically you're just going to have.
Right. But it had nothing to do with growth. It sounds like more just because you have a new building.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So we are positioned in a great way to continue to grow, especially at the elementary level. We're trying to look at our numbers. In fact, we did today. Kelly, what was that last number that we saw? I'm going to blank in info.sdl.org. In fact, if you'd like to do that, yeah, it's like 21,400 right now, which is a little up to where we were, or from where we were last year at this time. Yes, not counting pre-K. Good news on pre-K. Last year we ran a little behind our total number of 1,340. This year we're already up to 1,300. So that's 2 classes shy of being completely full in pre-K.
You have bus drivers this year?
Actually, Dana Samples, he and his team have done a wonderful job. They've collapsed about 8 or 9 total bus routes because we're doing some doubling and some other things. We've gotten a couple of resignations, haven't we, Dr. Rollins, in the bus driver world, but so
Are they
far.
going somewhere else?
No, a couple of them were health issues, and so I respect their decision because they didn't want to be driving a bus and having children on the bus if they maybe shouldn't health-wise. So we really appreciate that. But at the same time, right now is kind of a critical time to have a bus driver shortage
I know we got
on
buses
Monday.
parked all over the place advertising for bus drivers, and I didn't know if we were.
We really struggle every day. I know that all the surrounding districts struggle as well, trying to find competent bus drivers. And I say that, and I mean it, competent bus drivers. There are folks out there with CDLs that you don't want driving your kids on those buses. So we have to be very selective. And just because they have a CDL and HAR-BER doesn't mean they get a job here in Springdale. And our bus driving team, they're very good. They do great work, and they're there every day. They come every day. They're happy. Oftentimes, they are the nicest, well, they're the first face a child sees in the morning. and that nice smile and that pleasant opportunity for that kid to come on the bus makes a big difference. And so we're very pleased with the bus drivers we do have. We just need more. It continues to be a challenge. Okay.
Good job.
Accept my report there.
Very good.
Okay. You also have a roster of administrative personnel there, and I believe, what page was that on, Mr. Hutchinson? Was that like 176?
176.
Okay. And hopefully that particular page doesn't change. But I believe we'll be okay. Next up, if it's okay, Dr. Rollins, for me to go on to Department of Support Services, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kathy Launder. She's provided an informational sheet to your packet in regard to the work that her nurses have done over the year, and she'd like to give you a little opportunity for her to talk to you and you to ask questions of her.
Good evening, School Board, Dr. Rollins. I thank you for this opportunity, so I can just give you a small little snapshot of last school year. We have partnerships with Ronald McDonald House Charities and their dental vans, so they come in to 7 schools which are listed on your sheet, and they help see these kids who may be in dental pain, aren't able to go to a dentist. We're able to see those kids, clean their teeth, fill the cavities, and get them back in class as quickly as possible. It's really very nice for us. Dr. Owens and Dr. Myers are 2 local optometrists that we send our kids to get their eyes checked when they fill the screenings at school. So they give us eye exam and glasses at a discounted rate, which helps us and also our parents. Arkansas Children's Hospital has an ears program, and this program sends an audiologist, which is Dr. Upson, who comes to our district twice a month. So any child who fails a hearing test, and also if they have hearing aids or an FM system so they can hear in the classroom, will be seen by Dr. Upson. I share the cost of this. It's $10,000 for my half and $10,000 for special ed. We share the cost so all our students are able to be seen. And when he comes, if there's a child who has maybe extra fluid in his ears, he lets us know how to handle this to streamline this process to get those kids seen and get them taken care of so they're able to hear in the classroom. Also, we use the Burlsworth Foundation, which is a great program too. The parents fill out a form, they qualify, they get a voucher to go to an eye doctor and an eye exam and glasses without any cost. And coming soon, I'm waiting for protocol and procedure to come from the state. We will have auto injectors in stock in our health rooms for the kids that we do not know about allergies, that maybe they've never been stung by a bee or stung by a bee at school, and we have an EpiPen at our disposal to use for these kids. So as soon as we get the training, I already have access to get these pens for free. To keep in our offices, I need to obtain a doctor's order, and then we'll be set to go. Also passed 2 years ago is a law, Act 833, and it talks about to protect the health and safety of public school students who have diabetes. My nurses spend much time with the parents and the students to train them, to help them understand their diabetes, what to do, educate the teachers. We have health care plans for them. So this is just one more layer of help with the kids at school. And just to give you an idea, a snapshot, my nurses will see between 25 and 50 students in the health room during any given week. But as it starts, the weather changes, kids get cold, maybe have a stomach bug, and when flu season hits, we may see as many as 50 students in a day in our health rooms. So our health rooms can get very, very busy. Also, I wanted to let you know the Department of Health is working with us in improving the overall health of our students in our community. And as we learn more about this project, I will keep you informed. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
How many total nurses?
Counting myself, we will have 35 this year. So I have a nurse in every building, and I have 2 at each high school. Now, School of Innovation will have 1 starting out. She'll be fine at this point. We have 3 wellness centers, one at Elmdale, George Elementary, and Jones Elementary.
Are there any more of those coming online?
I know I talked to Mary Miller about that. That's something we always look into, and she said we're waiting for the next round of grant money to come around. I think it comes around within the next year, and she can apply again.
Great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great job, Ms. Launder. Thank you. She really does excellent work. She'll come in and visit with me, and quick, to the point. I mean, just like going to the doctor. You know, they get you in and get you out, and so does she. Just remarkable work. Anyway, I wanted to thank her publicly. Thank you, Ms. Launder. Regards to some other duties that I have in regard to construction projects, I provided you a list, an updated list of what all's going on. If you'd like for me to go through that in a public way, I'd be happy to. What I would like to tell you is, in the list where I told you that the City of Springdale building inspection scheduled for today, well, all of those inspections we passed. Okay, so as of tomorrow, the only area of the School of Innovation that we won't be able to move into is the office. They're going to come back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. They're going to do the inspections in the office after 10 o'clock. Dave Mountain's our Director of New Construction. He said, we're good to go. We completed everything we needed to this evening, and so we think after 10 o'clock we'll move in, all of our furniture in. So if I remember, we all went on our tour, and we looked at faces, and even our faces were, whoa, man, I don't know if they can get this done. They have. And so it's a little bit short of a miracle. But the work is really, really good. We'll have some things that we need to button up. I mean, that's just part of the process. We're going to have some panels that we need to install. We'll have some Promethean boards that we need to make sure, or not Promethean, what are they called? Dr. Rollins, monitors that we do ourselves that will continue to do that. I believe there are 80 plus of them. So we're going to open. We're going to be there. Kids are going to come and buses are going to run. The outside is going to look really nice. We won't have all of our sod down. We're doing a lot of hydro seeding. So over time, we'll have our grass grow. At Linda Childers Knapp, everything is complete. We've passed all of our tests. All of the life safety measures have been tested, and they're conducted and they're done. So teachers have moved in. We have one truck of student desks that apparently got caught in Texas. And part of the issue with them not being here was there was a strike in the apparently with the drivers of a particular company who contracted to bring the desks in for Mosier. So we've waited on those. They'll be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock as well. So we'll have desks when it's time to have desks, but it's been a little bit of a pressure keg up until this point to make sure they've gotten here. In regard to Elmdale, if you haven't gone by Elmdale, it is such a nice change. And I know that Brad and the team at WDMD, they've done some really great work in the way it looks. Wish it hadn't cost $1 million, but I have to say that because I say that to him every time. But it's $1 million investment, and it is a great investment. Elmdale is beautiful. It's going to make a difference in the kids, and certainly has made a difference for the community members who drive by, and they're very pleased. Just like Westwood, so beautiful. Good heavens. The work that Dr. Rollins and Brad and formerly Jack and others have done to bring these schools up to looking like a standard Springdale school is nothing short of miraculous in itself, especially for the bargain. Even though it cost $1 million, Brad, it looks like $1 million worth of work now. Okay? Anyway.
Do you know if that stoplight out on 412 East is going to be ready when the School of Innovation?
I was told it was going to be ready. It's already flashing.
It's running now.
Okay. It's running.
Full.
Oh, yes. Dr. Rollins goes through there every day.
Super.
Sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, don't you, Dr. Rollins? So.
Like 65, 80 miles an hour, something like that, or you?
No, that's not true.
That's oh, okay. Got him on
That was me, Luttrell.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me coming through.
Of course. How did I get you confused?
Anyway, I wanted to tell you, I enjoy working here. I enjoy doing this work. I feel like I sprint every day, but I'd rather sprint than walk slowly. So I appreciate it, and I thank you for the opportunity every day. Do you have any questions for me before I say? Okay. Thank you so much.
Mr. Mark.
Good evening, Board. To follow up with Mr. Luttrell's question earlier about staffing, I mean, this is not a surprise for us. We knew that when we were opening a school, and anytime we open a school, we're not able to be as efficient in staffing as we were prior to. Mr. Jones told me that not soon after I started here. He said you're most efficient before you open the school, and then you become less efficient and have to work back toward that efficiency. So there's a lot of truth in that. So we knew this was going to be a heavy staffing year, and yes, I'm being critical of that. I'll just admit that right up. But it's all going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. So I have 3 items for you this evening, Board. The first item is the building projects update. It looks a lot similar to the one you had last month. I believe I made a payment on the Childers Knapp, but the other two, I believe, are identical. So be happy to answer any questions, but you can see we are coming along with that. I anticipate getting a pretty hefty bill on the Elmdale this month because that work is, as you know, has been proceeding rather fast. So if there are no questions on that, the next item I have for you is just an update on the annual school election. It will be held on September the 20th. As you know, since we are not asking for a change in millage and Mr. Owenby is unopposed in his board race, we are just going to be conducting early voting and absentee voting. Early voting starts the week before the election on September the 20th is the election date, so it'll start on the 13th and it will be through Friday and then again on Monday prior to the election. We will need to be sure and have someone from Mr. Owenby's zone go and vote in order to validate the election, so no pressure.
Pay somebody if they need it.
Surely your wife.
I don't know if she'll vote for me either. I don't know. Yeah.
Can't your kids all vote too?
I may have a kid that can vote.
And then the final item I have for you this evening is our board report for the month of July. As you have noted, I'm sure, it looks a little different than traditionally because the budget has not been finalized for this year. We'll have that to you next month and be able to fill in all the blanks here. You know, July is not that busy of a month for us. So anyway, be happy to answer any questions you may have. It's too early for me to start worrying too much yet, so I'm going to give myself a break for a month or two before I start worrying.
Any questions for Mr. Hayes?
I move that we accept the financial report as presented.
Second. Who said that?
Danny.
Okay. We have a motion by Mrs. Cook, a second by Mr. Dotson to accept the financials as presented. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much.
Julie? Good to see you.
I'll be brief tonight. I'd just like to say we've been busy getting ready for back to school. We sponsored the new teacher luncheon at SHS. We had 2 gift cards in the teacher brunch is what I'm calling it. We also made welcome back gifts for all our members and are in the process of putting those in their boxes. And then we awarded 2 scholarships for $500 each. One went to a HAR-BER student and one to a SHS student. Lindsay Carrera at SHS, she was very impressive, very nice young lady. And then Merritt White from HAR-BER, and so they both picked those up, and they're going on to the U of A this fall. It's been a busy last couple of weeks, or last couple of days, feels like a couple of weeks, but we very much appreciated everything from a teacher's standpoint that the chamber did and that you have done for us. And, I'd just like to thank Jim Ed for pulling my name out of the basket out of that big list of names. That was really exciting.
What did you win?
I won, it was a gift certificate to Office Depot. Woo! Yeah, I was really excited about that one. And then, we enjoy the Mayor Sprouse, every time. His stories are, just so entertaining. But I just wanted to close with, I have a suggestion for him. And I think Dr. Rollins, I think you might agree. He was talking about the taxes and how he would like to get up there, the tax collection for our city. As you can attest, I think we need some restaurants on the east side of town.
There you go.
And I think if he would strategically place a Sonic right across from Sonora Elementary and Sonora Middle School, I think we'd be in number 1.
I agree.
So, but thank you so much. Is there any questions about anything?
How many members do y'all have?
Over 400. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Quite a few. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, and I wanted to make one more thing. If you're going to look at that curriculum, which honestly all you do is click the button. I mean, it's not that hard to find, but look at the secondary social studies. I think Ben was new last year. He's a new addition. Outstanding. I mean, because we write a lot of our own UBDs at our school, but his work is really, really good. So don't let him get away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I think we can be adjourned.